All right, we'll rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd like to call to order, I guess, would be the terminology, for this public hearing on local law number 1 of 2021, an amendment and supersession of the ethics law for the town of Grafton. Vic, you want to do roll call, please?
Councilman Baldry,
Here.
Councilwoman DeShane,
Here.
Councilman Hoyt,
Here.
Councilman Lewandowski,
Here.
and Supervisor Duncan.
Here. Okay.
May I begin?
Sure. John Oliver.
After somewhere near the 30th or 31st reading of this report, I still found some minor typos. They are 6 in number. None of them are critical to this discussion this evening, and they don't alter the text in any way, and nor the meaning of the text. So I will submit them to both Vicki, the town clerk, as well as Erica, and ask them when the final approval is made, then we can make those corrections in the event that there are, regardless of whether there are changes or not.
Are they spelling it? Spelling or just?
Yeah, actually, for example, on the very first page, section 17.1, the third line at the very end, the word chapter is followed by the word it,
It.
and it shouldn't be there. It should not be there. So the sentence should be local law to replace chapter in its entirety. So little things like that. And they're not, frankly, one is, 1, 2, 3 are capital versus lowercase letters, uppercase versus lowercase. And then the very last page, there are a couple numbers that are, instead of 2021, it's 200. One is 2002-0, and so on. So,
John, who did this final draft for you? Do you have
I
this
did.
at home? Okay, so
Yeah.
you're going to go through and
right,
fix these.
exactly.
Okay, all right, as long as,
I thought I'd stop by when both of them are here,
sure,
and that way we'd be very clear about it. 'Cause
sure,
So then we
It's a
probably
simpler-
shouldn't vote on that tonight then.
perfect, right. So as to form, I think, yeah.
I mean, it's not like a big change, it's just correcting.
Right,
So-
yeah, just correcting so it flows, yeah,
Right.
that's good, yeah, that should look right.
Just because once we vote on it, it's bound.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Thank you for catching those.
yeah.
After a while, it got to look like wallpaper, and, the other night, I decided I want to do this one more time, and sure enough,
Jared don't have his glasses either.
Sister, do you girls have any comments that you wanted to make?
No, I'm good. Thank
Okay.
you.
If you're, we allowed a half an hour for this process. Would you like to go over them on your copies? The corrections that I mentioned?
Sure, sure,
Okay.
yeah.
So we have on the first page, the one that I identified. Then section 17-6. This is on page, would be on page 6 if we don't have the same.
Yeah.
Disclosure of interest in legislation and other matters?
17.6, section A, the second line toward the end, the word board should be a capital B. Have you found that?
Yes.
Where's the Oh, the board,
I
okay.
have no good.
That's section 17.6,
I got
Letter A.
17.
second sentence, near the end, the word board should be uppercase B.
Oh, yeah. Here, at the end.
And then in that same section,
No, here, this one should be.
Over here.
Be included in the board and disposition of the matter could result in a direct
Right.
financial. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to find that. Somehow we have two different,
Yeah.
Pierce has one that's clearly over
okay.
there, but we have one, that's what my 17.6 looks like. It's
Oh.
paginated, no A's or B's.
Oh, okay, so
This-
I'll go,
Done
so it's the
same,
first one,
Yep,
the first one, the second
right? For the
sentence,
board, yeah.
perfect.
as a member of a
Jody.
capital B or.
You do good with word find.
Then,
I left my glasses clean. Can't see.
then under the same section would be the fourth separation or paragraph, D, probably in Pierce's copy. The same situation occurred. Second line,
Okay.
3 words in,
Okay.
board, another capital, should be another uppercase B.
Okay.
Then in section 17.7, under C, or it'd be the third dot or bullet, there are 3 paragraphs. The final paragraph, number 3, reads, if the power or duty is vested in a town, that should be a capital T.
Right here, keep going.
Turn the page one
Yep,
more.
one more up top, yes, right in the middle.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what, I'm just gonna start there. Then, section 1715, the very first paragraph, or first bullet, no town officer. On the second line, the second sentence, first word is board, that should also be a capital B.
Mhm.
Where is this now, 17?
1715 is nepotism.
Board there.
Then all the way to 1726.
Oh,
What was that, John?
1726, the title of the section is effective date.
Back enough on
Do you all have that? There are 6 sections in this
26.
area. Number 4, the very last line, number 4, right below the letter, the number 5, excuse me. There is a field, a blank field for a date. The year 2002, it should be 2021, or 2002, then right after the underline, there is a 0. That should not be there. In the same section, I jumped ahead a bit, I'm sorry. It's same section, paragraph 3, final adoption by referendum.
Mhm.
On the 1, 2, 3rd, 4th line, very end, is 2000, or, pardon me, 200. That should be 202. And then we put in, assuming we're going to approve this year, then 1 will be typed in. And then,
Yeah, the 0.
yep. And then finally, in 1726-6, county law concerning adoption of charter. It says that, then the third line, it reads, submitted to the electors at the general election of November. Now, I didn't know if Phil, this is a question for Phil, if that should be November. I don't know when that, I mean, most general elections are November,
General election in November.
but this is a question for him when he gets back from his call, whether that should remain as November, and then it's 2000, or 202. I'm not quite sure when this was adopted.
The,
We didn't put
Is-
this out first.
This is the version that they're on.
yeah, is this
Yeah.
boilerplate language for the adoption part, for the most part?
It pretty much is, but Mike's showing me what you're looking at, and I can see why you might be confused.
It might be able to be stricken completely.
Right.
Let's wait for Phil to.
Right on,
this one,
I
okay?
agree. We're talking about if any other
Because it
authorized
threw me
form.
off too, I wasn't sure why that would,
Right,
and that's all I had.
because this would be, this forum, and then the board voting on it would be formal final adoption,
Right.
I'm thinking.
And it says county law, but we're not county, we're town.
Yeah.
So that's my point. I don't know that
Phil!
that whole paragraph even
Bill the
belongs
Harrington
there.
brothers for tonight.
So we'll see what he has to say. Assuming he gets off.
Not yet, not quite yet, no, not quite yet. Yeah, I'm not talking about, this is the first year. This is the first time the days have been right on. Do you know what I mean in the sense? Yeah, so it's the time of year, yeah. Don't matter what time of year. Exactly, you know. Don't matter, you know. That's why we design anyway. Because that's
Phil,
it.
if he's off the phone.
She
should be locked in.
He's trying awful hard to mate with my little white fluffy one. But he's not, he needs like a ladder. But no, so no, the Chihuahua, we
I
have
can't hear.
male.
I just made it.
So, right, like the puppy.
I want a chihuahua, yeah.
Yeah. What about the cockapoos
What
outside?
struck
of
me,
the
what struck me as odd is
The Amish
that
have cockatoos.
Phil
like
had this
that.
in there.
I want a chihuahua. I want a
See,
chihuahua.
he made these additions,
I know.
and it says
I saw a dog.
county local law.
Cockatoos, cockatoos,
So I don't know why
oh,
we
yeah.
need that.
Saw one today, it was a, what did the guy call it? Beagle. It was a beagle. The size of the beagle, they look just like a pig.
Like a big one.
Yeah, well, that's okay, because then you get in one or two, you know, whatever, that's fine, but there's one
Went missing.
that
We
200.
got her back now, but she's Basset now.
Hey, how you doing, Wes?
Best
Big ears.
Big ears.
Enjoy the
yeah,
party.
boxer. So she's long, she's like literally that long. Yeah, she's a good.
So you all
Hello.
moved in,
I'll keep it here.
Working 18-hour days
It's a
for
good chihuahua.
a month straight, trying to get my shot
I
done.
tell you,
Like
I
one
did
of
tell
the-
you
like
it's
a
your
little
turn
break.
with Rocky, because Kayla just.
so,
Or my shoulder.
It's your turn. You get him next spring, you
how's it
can.
going?
Oh, no, he's a good
Hi,
one.
Jimmy.
Working on Friday. So I'll be done on Friday.
He's a good little guy.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
speaking of
keeping him?
Kayla. No, we're totally keeping him. I was just teasing you.
No,
Hello, I'm not
it's
gonna
like
make it to the meeting tonight, but I had 3
we got
outlandish
about
dogs and one
20
was brought to the
different pieces
shelter.
of furniture we're trying to
Okay.
finish up. And yeah, all the construction is done.
Should hear what else she's asking, we should read
My
that.
sign's going in on Friday. We're
But I had
moving
3 at-large dogs and one was
phone
brought to the
systems
shelter. I
and
was also thinking of
all that
asking
shit
you
on
guys
Friday,
if
so.
if some form of rules and regulations can go on the
Friday's
town
a big day.
page
And it's on the
explaining the
next
repercussions of
project.
dogs
I
that
can
are picked
show.
up.
So. Although it's not
Thinking
as
about
much,
Wilbur has
there's a lot of
keep
work
some
to
form
do on my
of rules
equipment
and
there.
regulations
I have no
that
instructions.
explaining the repercussions of dogs that are picked up.
That's
I'd like to see what they say on other town websites.
Maybe that's why-
amazing, man.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Could be that or just what. Taking tags, if it's got tags, we make 3 times to reach it, you know what I mean? Whatever she's saying.
I don't know.
Right, I know.
He said, you know, he got it all out. He said, couldn't find any of them. It was impressive.
Where?
Yeah.
Tags from most of that.
Right?
Took 2 Friday.
Yeah.
So he said, the big thing is. Most of them, I can't see every cell, but these cameras are pretty impressive. High-tech stuff.
Security.
The level of but bounce back.
Cool. Definitely bears discussing before mentioning. Good call. From experience.
Playing for you on the kitchen meals.
What happened? All set?
We're waiting for you. We have questions.
I will sit down and let you ask questions.
Oh, did it?
I can see.
For you, I took mine off the
On the very last, section, this is section 26.6. There is a paragraph regarding county local law concerning adoption of charter. And I don't know.
Did we miss one?
You put
This
that in
had
there.
so much stuff in there that had county references that we tried to fix and take out.
Last.
Oh, this isn't you. This is the state's form.
Right.
So why did you put it in there? To confuse me?
This guy, I love this guy. But remember, we use a state local law form for adopting, and you can adopt a local law 5 different ways. One is legislative body adopts it. Another is legislative body in a city adopts it, subject to the executive approving it, like the county law does.
Right.
Another one, and what we might have done here, this is if we're adopting a county local law, not us here, a county local law subject to a charter. So what we're going to do here is if this goes through, there should be an earlier one here
There are.
that, the number 1, this is how we're going to fill this one. We're going to use adoption by local legislative body only.
Okay.
So with all towns, we use this one. With cities, we use this one here.
So I was trying to figure out why we had all this stuff on here.
Yeah, if you go to the state site, this is what's automatically on all local laws, and you choose from these as to how did you do it. Some are subject to permissive referendum also.
Okay.
That's where after you pass it, you gotta wait a certain number of days and wait and see if people file a petition. Other ones, it's subject to mandatory referendum where, like if you change the duties of an elected official, you have to have the voters vote on it.
Right.
So don't worry, the only way we're gonna do this one is the first option where she certifies.
Okay, so, excuse me, counsel, then if you look at your copies, section 1726, number 1 is the only paragraph.
That's right.
And if I may, and I don't want to disagree because this guy's one of the smartest guys I know, but 1726 ends with the words, "This local law shall be effective immediately upon filing with the office of the New York State Secretary of State." All this other stuff is not part of section 17-26. Rather, it's the state's normal verbiage that they have for all local laws, so they know how did you adopt it.
So after number one on down is deleted. Correct, Phil?
Number one is well, the first bullet is how we do them for towns. Second bullet is how we do them for cities. Third bullet is how we do it where it's subject to referendums, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so we're dealing with number one.
Well, the first bullet, there's no number with it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just local.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's gonna be fine.
Okay.
okay, so this is okay. This
This
one's
is on here
okay.
because they did such a great job, everyone else is gonna adopt this law throughout the.
No, that's on there because it's on all local laws adopted all through the state, all of them.
So
So
Ingrid,
it's just a cleanup.
I will then confirm in person with Vicki and Erica
Okay.
before this thing is typed, all these corrections and the elimination of this other text
Okay.
that I blame entirely on Phil. You would like, you would like to have the last paragraph, I, the undersigned, signed by the town attorney, yes?
If you get right to the end here, the town clerk does her part, and then I would sign the next part as town attorney,
Correct.
and then she files it with the Secretary of State's office, and that's it. You know, they will then, in due turn, but they're moving slow, you guys, just to let you know. You know how they upload it to their website? They're behind by months right now. But it's official upon you filing it, and they give you a little proof of filing. They send you that notice, and so you'll be good to go.
Yep.
Yeah, but all that last stuff is just the state's normal stuff on how you adopt a local law. Sorry.
This is
Um,
good too.
Okay.
Is there a chance that this could be properly advertised and passed at our closing meeting on?
Time out. Didn't you notice the public hearing already?
Yeah.
Isn't this the?
Guess what?
This is it.
You could do it tonight, you could do it anytime, you don't have to do it tonight.
We
but
don't
you
want to do
could-
it tonight just because we want it to be clean as to form.
Okay,
Right.
yeah, but literally, you know, because you did your public hearing notice, and you did a public hearing and asked if anybody had comments and all that?
Yeah.
So, right now, you could go ahead and adopt it once you close your public hearing.
Even with corrections to be, I mean,
Are they,
typo
are they typo types?
Typo.
Yes, they're just.
No substantive?
No.
You could do it tonight.
Okay.
But what I would do is, like you said, put it in final form so you're looking at it, and you have it all perfect, and then at a meeting say, we hereby adopt it. Just use that resolution form I sent in. I think, Frank, you sent it to everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
At our December 27th meeting.
You could do it December 27th. I would suggest it. But if you said, Phil, what if we pushed it into next year? Would it still
No,
count?
no, we don't want to push it into next year. We'd prefer to do it tonight.
Right.
But
Well-
we want it to be.
You want to see
Corrected.
it in final form in front of you.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with that, and on 27th, you could adopt it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Vicki, when will you be here?
I'm here Wednesday morning, 10 to 1, and I'm here Saturday, or I can meet you Thursday, tomorrow. Erica's around tomorrow, right?
Yes,
Tomorrow, Tuesday,
yes.
so,
Yeah, I'd be happy to come,
all right,
because this will take 2 minutes.
right. So, tomorrow morning, anytime between 10 and 1.
10 and 1. I'll be here with bells on.
All right.
Yeah, so we're just tracking that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
And then we'll just put this on to the next agenda for the year-end meeting.
Yes.
And that way it's all.
Yep. And our workshop is our year end.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep, 12/27. 27, yeah, okay. All right, I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing. May I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It.
At, what, 7:04, Vic?
Good to me.
Okay. Repledge?
Yeah, sometimes we don't do the pledge before a public hearing, but you definitely do at the start of any
We
official
did,
meeting.
we did a pledge, but we'll do
We'll
it
do it
again.
again.
There you go.
Doesn't hurt.
It's not a bad thing.
In live our country. Would you lead us, Steve, please?
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, good evening, everyone. Vic, would you call us to order, please?
Councilman Bowdre,
Here.
Councilwoman DeShane,
Here.
Councilman Hoyt,
Here.
Councilman Lewandowski,
Here.
and Supervisor Duncan.
Here. All right, this evening we have to approve the minutes of our public hearing from November 3rd, our town board meeting from November 8th, our special meeting of November 15th, and our workshop special meeting of November 22nd. Does anyone have any issues with those minutes? No. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the aforementioned meetings. May I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, I'll give that one to Pierce, Steve.
Councilman Bowdre,
Here. Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilman Lewandowski,
Here, yes.
and Supervisor Duncan.
Yes, here. Here. Okay. Moving on to reports and remittances from department heads and town committees. We have operating statements for November, but still no balance sheets, and I know that day is coming. Okay. All right. The town clerk's report?
Town clerk fees brought in $375, planning board brought in $300, trash brought in $2,229, youth brought in $191, and building permits brought in $150. Total revenue for the month was $3,852.16. After paying Agamarkets and Encon, the check that went to the supervisor was $3,245.41.
Thank you, Vicki. I'd like to make a motion to accept the town clerk's report. May I have a second?
I'll second. I was waiting for you.
I don't want to jump in there every time.
Councilman Bowdre,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilman Lewandowski,
Yes.
and Supervisor Duncan.
Yes. Okay, Jared, Highway Superintendent.
Not a whole lot going on, except Mother Nature let us know winter's here. So all the plow equipment's in good shape. We got that all up and going. We went from working on roads and snow, and now we're back ditching and filling potholes this week. Got the new truck. The thing came out super nice. TNT did a banging job and put the body on the plow, all that stuff. So that's already been put to use. That truck works real well. Super happy with that. And we'll see how the weather goes. You know, we're going to continue to do road work until it snows. And then we'll move on to plowing. But other than that, not much to report.
Joe, did you hear anything on the concrete over there though? Where he's at or?
I talked to him about the concrete at the recycle center. And he said as soon as he gets finished up, if we get a good week, he'll go in and get the retaining wall done. As far as in the garage, I put a cancel on that until the spring because I cannot leave the plow trucks out. The concrete has to cure for 3 to 4 weeks, and I didn't want to leave the plow trucks outside this time of year. I mean, it's our lifeblood in town, so.
That makes sense.
Well, it'd be cheaper if we did it all at one time?
He will do whatever, he's, you know, and the other thing is with the town, inside the town garage is, the water separator was, you know, like anything else in the world right now, is a little bit behind schedule, so, but we could either do it all at once in the spring, or I figure we could at least get the wall up, you know, but it's looking more like, you know, springtime.
All right.
So we'll see, but yeah, I had talked to him, and he was finishing up some jobs, foundations, you know, to try to get people's houses in order, and I thought that was pretty important, you know, to get people's foundations wrapped up so they can get them capped before winter up here on this mountain, so.
I was just thinking if it's gonna be a little bit cheaper to do it all at once, I mean, we can hold off till spring, but if we
I
can
talked
do
to him
this
about it,
year-
but like with the town garage, his little equipment, you know, skid steer and stuff is so easy to move in and out. I'm sure he's it's not gonna really affect much.
Thank you.
Huh?
Thanks, Sharon.
We were hauling something today with the Lenny trucks.
Yeah, we got a pretty cool project, the yard's looking a little tough back. Gotta
Okay,
deal with
thanks,
that
Sharon.
confused.
For the assessor's report tonight, we have, for November, he processed sales and escrows from the county, reviewed properties in the field, we met with taxpayers, he held office hours. He's working on splits and valuing properties. And he said as a reminder that all exemption renewals have been mailed and people are returning them. The deadline is March 1st of 2022. Buildings and code enforcement, and I don't see Tom, which is unusual.
Yes, very unusual.
Okay, let's skip Tom for a sec and conjure him up, hopefully. The Grafton Rescue Squad, Captain Lisi.
We had 15 calls, total miles were 336, total hours 23. We had 3 Alpha, 1 Bravo, 5 Charlie, 6 Delta. We had 2 missed calls and an RMA. We used ALS 7 times, Mohawk 4, Bennington 2, and Pownell 1. We went to SVMC 2 times and the VA 1 time and Samaritan 6 times. All 15 calls were Grafton, 11 were in the daytime, 4 were in the night, 10 weekday calls, 1 weeknight call, 1 weekend call, and 3 night calls. And we also included the election of officers. We did our,
Oh, he did?
yeah, we did the elections last month,
Okay.
so that's included in your paperwork here.
Good deal, okay. How's your membership, Sharon?
It's low.
Yeah,
We got 2 more coming on board, 2 more drivers coming on board. Well, we have 1, but he hasn't showed anything since he joined. We've got 1 new one, we just gotta get him in, we gotta get him and Jeremy together so he can train him to drive. And he'll be set. He's all certified EMT, defibrillator, so that's sweet.
this new fella? Good,
Yeah.
that's
nice.
great. Okay, okay,
Nobody
thank you,
wants to
Sharon.
do it for nothing anymore.
Thank you, thank you. From the dog control officer, Kayla can't be here this evening, but she's reporting 3 at-large dogs with 1 brought to the shelter. So that was what she's had lately. The youth program director, have a report from Noel. I do believe.
I know, I just got banged in.
Yep, I have it. The Grafton Youth Report, December 2021. The youth program held an indoor movie night in November. Unfortunately, there was no one in attendance. For December, this Friday, December 17th, there'll be a gingerbread party with a visit from Santa at the VFW Fire Hall from 6 to 8 p.m. So far, there are 34 kids signed up. Thanks, Noel. So again, that's this Friday, the 17th, a gingerbread party with a visit from Santa at the VFW from 6 to 8. And it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. 34 kids, so good job.
I say, if any of you guys missed me at the breakfast, I'll be there.
Are there pictures? Oh, you're Santa? Oh,
No, I'm not.
oh, kids don't want,
No,
no, you're not
we had a
Santa.
great, Santa's coming in was great. It was great to see it.
Yeah,
A lot of the kids there really got a big kick out of that.
Yeah. Yeah,
good deal.
Some of the big kids too.
Yeah, they-
Santa's helper.
He did the he was at the Yankee Doodle Band too.
He was he?
Santa's all over Grafton. Did you follow through and sit on his lap finger?
No. But the night is young. All right, moving on. Leanna, save me. Grafton Community Library.
So, 450 hardcover books were checked out for November, 232 ebooks, patron visits, 203 adults, 8 children, 3 teens. We had a little incident down, I'm not sure what the date was now. Jimmy probably knows. I even put the date on, yes, December 2nd. So a limb came off the town property. You know, there's the fence, there's the town property, and then there's the fence, and then there's the library property. So a limb from the town property came over, took the wires, the telephone wires that connect to the library, took them down, and then took the pole down that was connected to the wires.
Wow.
So the pole came back over and hit the fence that belongs to the cemetery. So there's a big V in that. No cars were there, luckily. I mean, we were, for that pole to come over like that, we were just fortunate there was no cars parked there. There was a meeting that night down there, but it didn't hit any of their cars, so, you know, or any people, thank goodness.
It was a Thursday night.
It was a Thursday night. And so then Friday morning, they replaced the Verizon pole. It was Friday morning, they replaced the Verizon pole. Spectrum came out, so we were with only our internet for just the one day, all day, pretty much Friday.
What about damages, Nina? Was there any damages that need to be
Damages to
covered?
our siding, because when it pulled the wires out, it pulled the wires, it damaged some siding, but we have extra pieces, so we think we can fix that.
Okay,
And then the fence belongs to the cemetery, so.
okay. But it was a town property tree that fell over. Well, I'd like to know
Well, the tree,
before
it
now.
was a town.
Or a town limb, what, no?
A town
The whole
limb.
top of the tree.
Oh,
Come
Okay,
to look, I told her it was a limb,
uh-huh,
but looking at it the next day, the top of the tree, that tree is pretty rotted anyway.
okay,
So the top of the tree came down, hit the wires, and snapped the pole and pulled the wires off it.
gotcha. Okay. It might be a little stale to try and do a claim, but I'm certainly willing to let the insurance company know.
I don't,
If,
for the
I
library, I
mean,
don't
it's
think it's.
proper procedure.
Yeah, I don't
No?
think the library needs to, I don't know, pop out the cemetery, but Keith
Okay.
did go down and clean up the tree and cut it up and get it out of the road, so.
Okay. Well, thanks for that. Hmm.
Verizon people left, I guess. They
Yeah,
must have, they don't,
they didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
It already happened. Usually if it's hanging on their wires, they'll clean it, but it already went by the wires.
I'm just thankful nobody was hurt.
Right. Yeah,
I mean,
for
and
sure.
For that tree, for that pole,
And people there,
was that pole rotten, Jimmy? It just seems like for that pole to
That
come out of
pole's
the
been-
ground like that with
That pole's
wires.
been there for a long time, but the top of the tree was pretty heavy to
Hmm.
snap that pole. That's what really did
It's
it, the
amazing.
top of the
Makes
tree.
the business go down.
It just seems
Yeah.
like, you know, for that pole to come out of the ground like that, how tight was it in the ground or how
Gotcha.
rotten was the pole?
Right.
Whatever. All right, so
Okay.
that's
All
it.
right.
What's that?
The ground's
Okay.
Yeah, the
Thank
ground's
you.
wet, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, super wet. Okay, thank you, Leanna.
Yep.
The state park, I see Tamara here. Hi, Tamara.
Hi. So we have a couple of fun things happening at the park. So we have our luminary walk, full moon walk this Friday, from 5 to 8:30. It's self-led outside behind the Welcome Center. So we're gonna have like 150 luminaries along the trails behind the Welcome Center. And then we will also have s'mores and hot chocolate, as well as a fire behind the Welcome Center. So it's $5 for per person, and then those 5 and under are free. And it, like I said, it's self-led from 5 to 8:30. Dogs are welcome on a leash outside. And then inside we might have some coloring sheets or something like that for kids and Christmas music playing. So just a fun time, and stay however long you like. And then we are having our ice fishing tournament and our winter festival this year. So the ice fishing tournament is on January 15th, and then the winter festival is on January 22nd, so just consecutive Saturdays. We renamed the winter festival this year Cabin Fever, because we're trying to focus on outdoor activities. So usually we have like 15 different organizations inside the Welcome Center. But we are moving a lot of those organizations outside, doing hikes and other programs. And then pretty much everything else is the same. So we're still having the polar plunge, still having a lot of our vendors outside, like the carriage rides. So we had our first press release go out about that last week. And then we'll have more information as we get more vendors responding. So nice that we're still able to have that. Like I said, the ice fishing tournament is happening as usual. So registration will start at 5:30. The event will go until 2:30, and then awards will be announced after that. So There is the Luminary Hike flyer up there. And then the last thing to note is Grafton is hiring. So I work as the environmental educator at the park. So we're actually hiring an assistant environmental educator. So if you know anyone who has experience working with kids and working outside with invasive species or with wildlife monitoring, we're looking for someone to assist me. So application or descriptions are up there, and then they just find an application on the park's website, and they can either mail it, which is on there, or I'll leave a couple of my business cards and you can just email it to me.
Nice, thank you. Great. There you go. Nice. Okay, I don't see our
Hopefully you get
senior
some ice.
citizen representative, no.
No, but I do have,
Merrimakers?
both of those.
Okay, okay.
So, Linda couldn't make it tonight, she gave me a call right before the meeting. So, the Yankee Doodle band played on Saturday. They had the cookie contest, and Santa came and they said everything went well. She wanted to thank Tom for letting us use it and thank the town for having the band come. I was there, it was awesome. And then the Merrymakers had their Christmas party. There was over 50 people there, and it was a great event. They wanted to also thank Tom for everything he did there as well. And that's it.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, Recreation Committee. Do you have anything, Betsy? No, you're good? Okay. We've got to make that a permanent add-on to the agenda. So we'll fix that, okay. All right, communications received. Anyone have anything?
I got a quote from Bone Steels for the bathroom. It's not like $9,700. I got it just before I come in, so I didn't get a chance to print it. But I do have that, and I will give that to you guys.
Okay.
Now, is that something that's gonna have to go up for bid, Phil? Or is that gonna?
9,700 is a procurement policy.
Yeah.
So it's, well, Vicky's looking.
$5,000 to $10,000. Request for a proposal and written fax quotes from more than 3 vendors.
So the key thing I heard is you're supposed to try and get 3 vendors to submit written quotes.
What about where it said RFP?
Well, that's kind of what you did.
Formal or just
It's
that?
informal.
Informal
It's not
RFP,
put in the
okay.
paper or anything.
Okay, good.
So
So informal RFP.
you got 1 response already. Now, sometimes you can't get more than 1, in which case you're allowed to go forward.
He was the only one that responded to the other ones.
Right.
But
So-
we didn't run this in the paper.
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
So if you were to call 3 entities, and you got 1 already that responded,
Okay.
and the other 2 said we're not interested, you just put that on the record, that we contacted ABC Company, they weren't interested, XYZ Company was not, this one was, and you can go ahead and award to that person.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Okay. Any other communication received? Okay. New business? Old business? The bottle money, any closer to glory on that?
No,
Okay.
we just got work on, we're gonna talk to the insurance company.
Okay. So we're still kind of thinking about recreational equipment, maybe?
Yeah, just
Okay.
seeing what options we have available to us.
Okay.
Makes sense or no sense.
Okay. Okay, cleaning services for the town hall, we've got that sewed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I've done twice already.
nice.
Done it twice, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rescue squad building repairs,
That's
So,
what
you're right,
Yep.
with that.
okay. And UniFirst, are we finally done?
Yeah, as far as I know, you got a response back from them saying
Yeah,
anything to make our supervisor happy,
no fresh bills,
no fresh bills.
no fresh bills and,
we had bills from last month that we just signed.
Just when they completed
oh, that was-
service.
okay,
Yeah.
yep. Okay, good deal. Okay, public comment, the privilege of the, oh, no, sorry, no.
I need clarification on whether this contract for September of 2022 got signed in,
Is it for Courtney Carl?
yes.
Okay. You say you don't have it, right, Betsy, the signed contract?
Saturday, Courtney said that they did receive it.
They did? Okay. So,
We should keep all, at least one copy with the town clerk's office of all signed contracts.
okay. I'm sure there's a copy made. So, okay. So this one that we have, we don't need to sign again? Oh, no, this is for the carpenters.
This is for yesterday once more. It says Courtney Carl on the letter that I got. Tribute to the carpenters in the town of Grafton.
Wait, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Or I don't need
Is
This
she a
is one-
performer that sings or
Yes.
something?
This is the contract we got right as we were working on the budget, and you guys had said, we can't sign this until we're sure that the recreation committee is even gonna be approved and in the budget. So we held it.
Okay.
This is
Have
my
we ever
copy.
voted on it?
Do you have an event she's singing at?
We never voted on it. As far as I know, we've never voted on it because we held off because we wanted to see if we were even gonna have a recreation committee.
But Courtney says she has a copy of the carpenters event for next year signed.
She said her manager said that they received it, yes.
If not, just let us know in January, we can put it
Because
on
I
the
didn't know if
agenda
that needed to
sign
be
it.
voted on by all of you, or
Yeah.
How much is it?
$1,800.
Oh, yeah, you guys should have approved that.
Well, it was in the budget that I submitted for the entire year.
No, that's
The
all
budget
right,
was
but
submitted.
if there's an outside vendor who's an independent contractor, even though it's in the budget, you guys usually do a resolution approving.
Right.
Right.
Do it in January,
Yeah.
beginning of the year. Go ahead.
If it, we just gotta find out if it's already signed, we'll just do a pro, not whatever.
Non-proton, yeah.
Non-proton.
Yes.
Which just means now for them.
Thank you.
And then again, is this Courtney Carl though? Does she do a carpenter's tribute?
Yes, she does.
Okay, this is somewhere Dalton Mass, Galaxy Entertainment? Yes, that's her agents, or do you know? It's okay if you don't know. It's okay. I mean, I just,
Owned by Vinnie.
okay. Okay, all right. Well, that's
I
all.
mean, I may have a copy at home in my email, I can look and let you know.
Okay. Okay, but we're gonna hold off on that until, January. Yep, okay. Okay, public comment, privilege of the floor. Reminder, public comment is limited to 5 minutes per person. Be mindful the public comment portion of the meeting is a privilege. All comments and statements shall be directed to the town board. Please refrain from any personal attacks, name calling, or derogatory public comments toward individuals. Got your timer ready, Steve?
You're on the clock.
Okay, yes. Anyone from the floor tonight? Going once?
Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you, folks, very much. All right, okay. We move on. Moving on to motions and resolutions. We're going to be tabling resolution number 99.
Motion by the supervisor to table, second by
Me.
Frank, and whenever you're ready, Vicki.
Councilman Bowden,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilman Lewandowski,
Yes.
and Supervisor Dunn.
Yes. And then we have resolution number 100, authorizing the town clerk to have a key made for the conference room for use by the assessor's office. Motion made by Supervisor Gundram, seconded by
I'll second it.
Councilman Lewandowski.
Councilman Beaudry,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilman Lewandowski,
Yes.
and Supervisor Dunn.
Yes. Okay. I would like to make a motion to pay the bills as audited. We have vouchers number 619 through 703 for a total of $109,274.78. I'd like to make a motion to pay these bills. May I have a second?
Second.
seconded by Councilman Hoyt.
Councilman Beaudry,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilman Lewandowski,
Yes.
Supervisor Guzzo.
Yes. Right, our next meeting will be our workshop end-of-year meeting, Monday, December 27th at 6:30 PM. Moving on to legislative privilege, does anyone have anything for legislative privilege tonight?
Did you find out anything on that late fee we had on that truck payment?
No, haven't heard anything on it.
Did you call?
No, since I got emailed it, Vicky.
Okay.
Yeah, let me check back. Good check. Anything for legislative privilege?
No.
No? Okay, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn this evening in memory of Cortland Seguin, who is Lisa Dooley's dad. May I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
I didn't know Court died until I saw that.
Oh, okay. Councilman Lewandowski is seconded in memory of Cortland Seguin. May I roll call, or can we just, what do we do?
It's a voice vote, it doesn't have to be a roll call,
Perfect.
so just a motion to adjourn in memory of.
All
We're
in
not spending
favor?
money.
Aye. Wow.
Good meeting, everybody.
It's 7:30. Yeah, I'll be home by 8:18. Yeah, no. It's one of those things. He's good, he's really tired, Joe, really tired. He said yesterday, he said, I don't know why I, he goes, if I have work to do, but if I'm tired.